Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome, to Thursday night is organ music night, for a very special, surprise, Why am I saying all the time, and why on earth do I have my Canadian socks on this evening? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're having a Canadian Christmas surprise session. I don't know if anybody knows this, but it's somebody's birthday today, It's the one and only Cameron Platz's birthday today, And of course, Cam is originally from Ontario, near Toronto. And yes, it's Cam's birthday today. So we're having a very special, spontaneous Christmas party for Cam. Yes, folks, it's Cam's birthday today, and, well, of course he knew this was coming. Let me just check. We see, I've got my mobile phone here tonight, so that Cam can keep me posted. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I have in my hand a piece of paper. Oh, I better be careful, I've got live flames there. We have a program of Christmas goodies requested for this evening's purpose. Some of them I know, some of them I do not know, and some of them, by the end of the evening, we will hopefully all know. So we're going to have a dig through this tonight. But before we start any of that, there's a certain piece of music I have to play. And it's not Happy Birthday, it's something else. Now, a lot of you are going to be asking yourselves something very, very special about my friend, Mr. Cameron Platz. And the simple answer is this. Yes, indeed, when I'm 64. Ha! Not yet, I've got 14 years to go. So there we are. Is it a worrying thing when I am closer in age to my friend Cameron Platts than I am to my wife? Sorry, that's naughty. That was a rather naughty laugh as well, wasn't it? Da 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 dee dee dee. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on. I need to get rid of my little chit chat here. I'll come back and say hello in a moment in the chat. I need to get rid of it because I need my thingbobs here. I need my program. And on the program this evening, what on earth do we have? I've got them all here somewhere. Here we go. Oh no, I don't have that for some reason. Is that right? Why don't I have that? Oh, there it is. Sorry, it is there. I'm reading the wrong piece of music. Now, this one, I probably do know it, but I didn't recognize it when I got it written there. So I had to dig about online and managed to find a score for it. It's the Hosianna. Apparently, it's a Swedish choir song from 1795. It's by an abbot, not Russ Abbott, but an abbot. In other words, a member of the monkery. An abbot, and his name was Georg Josef Vogler, and he came up with this Hosianna to the Son of David, or Hosianna, David's Sohn, if you want to speak German. And why it's a Swedish choir song, I'm not sure, but this is just the score I found. I hope it's right. I don't know, is it meant to be loud? Is it meant to be soft? Let's go for medium, shall we? A rather simple little number, I fancy. I'm afraid I don't know that at all. I've never come across that before, so I hope that was vaguely right. Why am I closing that when I need it? I sometimes don't understand myself. Is that one page? It is! Now, It wouldn't be a birthday party for Cam if we didn't have some fun music, and we have a fun selection of goodies here. Lots of Christmas music tonight. It's all pretty much Christmas music tonight, in fact. And Christmas music does not just have to be religious Christmas music or classical Christmas music. It can also be jazzy Christmas music, which means I get to play things like this. Woohoo! Here comes Santa Claus. Santa Claus is coming to town, and Frosty the Snowman in a cheesy medley. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we can do cheesy medleys. All of these things are possible. Look, a carol book, an actual carol book, which means I get to open it and go. I can't even see that. God, I need new glasses. Right, okay, good. I'm getting old, you see. I'm getting old, but not as old as some people. Ha ha. I am naughty, aren't I? I know, I'm terribly sorry. Right, let's see what's going on in the old chit-chat there. I've been away for a while, so there should be some catching up to do. Right, I'm still in the middle of Frosty the Snowman, according to that. Well, let me turn that off. We don't need that anymore, do we? Gosh, there's a lot of people here tonight for a surprise Thursday. Don't worry, there will be a concert tomorrow night. This is just a surprise extra. Haha. A very surprise extra. And before I get into trouble from Uza, I suppose I had better do that. And while I've got it, I suppose I had also better do that. There we are. Look at that. Isn't that exciting? If I don't do these things, I get into trouble, you see. Miss Moneypenny, yes, I get into trouble with Miss Moneypenny, so I have to do it like that. There we are. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get all French, shall we? I'm playing a French organ tonight. It's Düsseldorf. Düsseldorf, that's Germany. It's built by Rieger, which is originally Austrian. So why am I talking about French organs? Well, it's an organ in a French style. Here, folks, is a French Christmas carol. Il est né, this is French, il est né le divin enfant. There you are. And yes, you do pronounce that N at the end of divin, which would be, if it didn't have, but divin enfant. So there you are. Anyway. So before the pedants get going, I think that's it. He is born the divine Christ child. There you are. A bizarre, not quite French, but sort of improvisatory thing on this magnificent organ. Someone here, Wouter at the organ. Hello, Wouter. That's very kind that you're here. This is the sample set of St. Lambertus in Dusseldorf, the new one from Piotr Grabowski. It's absolutely delicious and absolutely wonderful. Fun stuff. There we are. So that's that. That's something very, 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 very different indeed. Right. Exciting. Exciting stuff indeed. Right, back to the show here. We've got some other things coming. Is it? Oh, do I even have it here? I don't think I do. Oh yes, I do. There it is. Hark. Hark means listen. If we have hark as a question, it might actually mean this as well, which is a rather different piece of music. Let's see what you think of this. Hark, do you hear what I hear? I hope so. A very cute piece of music, I think. I'm being a little bit careful tonight the way I play things, because a lot of it's going to be copyright, which is always good fun. And a lot of it could end up being sort of naughty, but that's fine, it doesn't matter. We're having fun with lots of lovely Christmas music here. There it is. So we're going from the sublime to the ridiculous and back to the ridiculous. No, that's not true. We're moving on to some more French music. A lot of Christmas music would appear to be French in nature. Did you know that? Maybe France is the sort of the birthplace of Christmas. No, that can't be possible. So, musically, I don't know. Let's find out. This one you may recognize. This will be sung everywhere on Sunday night around midnight. So get ready for this. That was the angels. They'd had enough and they decided to swan off at the end. Do angels swan? I don't know. I can't imagine they do. Anyway, there we are. Shepherds in the field abiding, or angels from the realms of glory, or Engel in den Feldern. Yeah, what were they doing in German? I can't remember. They were doing something in the fields anyway, but never mind. There we are. Wonderful stuff. I love that. Playing around with that. Right, what are we doing next? Oh, yes, we're having another one from this book, but I'm going to play around with it as I'm doing everything this evening. Someone asked me, what can they get me for Christmas? A new pair of reading glasses, I think, would be a very good idea. I don't have any form of... Oh, bloody hell. I was about to take my headphones off in the hope that might help me read that a little bit better. Right, there we go. Oh, age is a terrible thing. How does it feel, Cameron? I don't know. Anyway, if you've joined us later, by the way, it's Cam Platz's birthday today. And we're having a special surprise celebration here with a program selected by Kristin Platz. So there you are. I see. Anyway, right. What do? They disapparate. Well, is that what they do? No, they swan off. Right. Splendid. What am I playing now? Oh, yes, I'm playing this. Now, Cam loves the music of Dave Brubeck, and yep, which is 5 beats in the bar. Take a 5. Ooh, look at this, 5 Swiss francs. That's about 4,000 euros, I think. It'd be good if it was. No, it's Andreas Golder. Thank you very much indeed. That's fine. Andreas is also a member. And 5 Swiss francs, that's lovely. What does 5 Swiss francs get you nowadays? In Switzerland, not a lot. In the rest of the world, quite a lot. And look, 5 is the number there. Perfect. 5 is the exact right number we need for this one. So I'm going to take this tune and I'm going to turn it, at least I'm going to try, to turn it into 5 beats in a bar. Okay, I'm going to try. Let's see what will happen. Let me try that again with the right registrations. What happened there? Oh yes, I was at the end of my registration chain. I need to go back to the beginning. That's better. Right, let's try that again. 5 in a bar. Right, after that, my little brain, tiny as it is, needs a little break after that. God, it's hard concentrating on that. I actually went into 6 beats in a bar, deliberately, of course, in the middle there. But my goodness me, that's quite difficult to get your brain around doing 5 beats in a bar. It might sound easy enough that you're just adding a bit to the first bit. There's a wonderful joke about such things. Jazz will probably will probably know this one. It's an old jazz musician's joke, and the joke is this guy is desperate to get into the most famous jazz band in the United Kingdom. I'm not going to name it. He's absolutely desperate to get in, and after years and years and years and years and years and years and years, he finally gets an audition for the band. And he's been practicing all his crazy licks. He's been practicing his bluesy things. He's been practicing everything so that when he gets to this audition, he can do it all. And he turns up to the audition, and the band leader, who's a cigarette-smoking trumpeter, just sort of turns around and says, "All right, I know you're pretty good, but can you play Life is Just a Bowl of Cherries in 5/4 time? That's 5 beats in the bar." And the guy went, "Yeah, sure, that's no problem at all. I'll do that, that's dead easy. Life is just a bowl of cherries. Da, 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 da. No, that's wrong. That's 4 beats in the bar. Sorry. Hold on, let's try this again. Wait a minute, 5 beats in the bar. How are we going to do this? Life is just a bowl of cherries. No, how's this going to work? I really don't know. And he tries this 4 or 5 times. He keeps going and keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And eventually the band leader turns around and says, "Look, it's really very, very simple. Life is just a bowl of bloody cherries." And so on and so on. Wasn't that hilarious? No. Anyway, that's the only joke I know that involves 5 beats in a bar. So there you are. I do apologize. By the way, the word they used was not "life was just a bowl of bloody cherries." They used a different word, but I can't do that for reasons of well, just being nice. Right. Okay, here we go. Now the next piece of music is another one I don't know. So let's see if we can find out what we think it is. Maybe I do recognize it, but I didn't recognize it, and it's only sort of a few bars of music. I found it here. It's a traditional thing, and it's from the Czech Republic, apparently originally. So I don't know. Let's see what you think. I'm going to have. Can we get a Czech Republic sort of? What would be a Czech Republic? Is that Czech Republic? Probably not. We need a kind of a... Okay, now what I'm going to do here, oops, let's do that again. Yes, that's better. I'm going to play this one on the choir organ of Düsseldorf St. Lambertus. It's 2 organs in one. You have the grand org up on the sort of the west end balcony, as you would imagine, and then up at the front in the altar space there is a choir organ, and both organs are playable from a 4 manual console. Ta-da, just like this. And without pressing any buttons, the choir organ is available. The grand org here, the grate of the choir organ, and the swell of the choir organ there. As soon as you start adding other stops, then you might want to have the choir organ up here. But I don't want that. I want it separate down here. Right, now I don't know what this piece of music is, so let's see if you recognize it. What was I just doing? I was playing a piece of music with 5 beats in a bar, wasn't I? Well, this one starts out with bars in 2/4 and then moves to 3/4. I have a feeling, however, it's the arranger of this didn't get it right. Once again, it's an amateur arranger putting things on musical without thinking about it. The Zither Carol. I don't recognise that one at all. I hope it was right. I honestly don't recognise that, but it's cute, isn't it? I rather like that. I rather like it indeed. Right, the next piece of music brings back horrendous memories of when I was a small boy. No, not that kind of memories, but tasty beverage. When I was a small boy and I went to school, I did not just play the piano. I played other instruments too, and was I playing the organ already? I don't think I was, but I took up, for some bizarre reason, I took up the trombone. Yes, I took up the trombone, and for a while I think the trombone was almost my first instrument. I still have my trombone. It's up in the loft gathering dust. It's probably rusted solid actually, but I still have it. I must dig it out one day and see if it still works. And in a school concert I was requested to play the trombone and play a piece of music. It was a school Christmas concert, I seem to recall, and my music teacher at the time, who was a bad-tempered old bat, I think that's about the only nice way you could say it. I don't know if she's still alive. I really honestly don't know, but anyway, a bad-tempered old bat she was, and we got on like a house on fire. No, but she insisted I play a piece of music for that concert, and she insisted I play this, which is the most unsuitable piece of music to be played on a trombone for some reason. And I remember whoever was playing the piano, it wasn't her, it was some other accompanist who was playing the piano, one of the other music teachers, absolutely cocked it up beyond belief, which of course put me off. I was probably, I don't know, 12, 13, something like that. Put me off, and I sort of fluffed everything, but then we sort of lost each other completely, and then somehow we managed to sort of find our way back together again. It was incredibly distressing for a young boy, and it put me off public performance for a very long time, believe it or not. So every time I hear this piece of music, it brings back those lovely memories of playing school concerts. Anyway, there we are. Actually, while we're on the subject of school and music and things like that, someone recently asked me, where did I learn all my music? And I learnt all my music, or at least, well, no, let's talk about the history and the theory of music, all that kind of thing. I basically learnt all of that from one person, and one person alone. Sadly, he is no longer with us. He was the best music teacher the world ever knew. Absolutely wonderful guy, an old Cockney guy who, after the Second World War, moved up to Inverness, of all places. And he taught. When did he retire? He retired. I was still at school when he retired. So I mean, he was always a nice old guy. His name was Fred Short. Fred Short, and Fred was the best music teacher ever. And Fred taught me absolutely everything about music that I know. He taught me a lot of other things as well. He was just a wonderful person, a wonderful personality, and he had a wonderful London accent, which was a rare thing in Inverness in those days. It's not anymore, but it was in those days. And everybody loved Fred Short. Everybody loved him, whether you had him for music or social studies or whatever. He was filling in for a math teacher. We loved it if Fred Short would turn up, because he would just sit and talk to us. He would sort of talk to us with his anecdotes about life and music and the world and things like that. And when I was in my final year at school, I didn't really do very much. I'd already been given an unconditional offer to go to university. At the end of my 5th year in school, I didn't even have to theoretically do my 6th year in school. For some reason I did. I can't remember why. So I just bummed about in my 6th year and didn't really do anything at all. By that time, the old bat music teacher had retired. Fred had retired, but I was visiting Fred privately. He was teaching me even more. He was basically teaching me all the stuff I would need for university life, and music. He was teaching me all about that. And we were going through harmony and counterpoint and history and all these things that basically I learnt before I went to university. So when I arrived at university, I kind of already knew what was going on, and all the stuff we had to learn at university, I'd already done with Fred, kind of thing. Anyway, and one of my final my final act at school was a sort of very rebellious act where the then music teacher, an annoying little twerp actually. So there we are. We have a bad-tempered old bat who was replaced by a very annoying little twerp. That's the only way to describe him. We hit it off perfectly from day one. He was one of those sort of modern music teachers who wasn't interested in anything, you know, sensible. It was just all about having fun. God, what's wrong? No, anyway. No, he was an annoying little twerp. And I didn't bother going to classes in my last year. I just used to sort of hang around in the music department, play pianos, or go into the school theatre where we had an old organ. And I would play around on the organ and things like that. And I would go to the rector of the school, or the assistant rector or deputy rector, or whatever he was called, and get the keys for the theatre, and then go and sit in the theatre and play the organ for hours, rather than go to my maths class or whatever I was supposed to be doing. And eventually one of the teachers sort of thought, this isn't on, Fraser should be in his classes, and went to the music teacher and sort of got me into trouble. And the music teacher dragged me out of, whether it was a piano room or the organ, I can't remember, and dragged me off up to thankfully, the deputy rector of the school, who was a very good family friend, but never mind, and gave me this great talking to, blah, 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 blah. And the deputy director just sat there and sort of nodded and left and sort of, yes, I understand, yes, I understand. And then sent the music teacher away and said, look, disappear, please, Mr. X, I won't tell you his name, disappear, off you go back to your music department. I will deal with Fraser on my own. So he went off, and then we waited until he was long gone. And the deputy director, who was a family friend, it was just Jimmy, he was everyone's friend Jimmy, and Jimmy turned around to me and just said, Fraser, what the hell have you been up to? And I said, nothing, I just couldn't be bothered going to maths, so I was sitting playing some piano. He said, what were you playing? So I would say, I was learning something by, I don't know, Fats Waller, James P. Johnson. Oh, you show me later, because he played a bit of jazz piano himself, this guy Jimmy. He said, you must show me as well. Look, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go out into the corridor, and I'm going to absolutely rip you to bits, okay? I'm going to scream and shout at you and tear you down to that size there, just so that he thinks I'm giving you a good talking to. But look, don't worry about it. Tell you what, after lunch break, let's meet down in the theatre, you can show me what you were playing, kind of thing. So we opened the door, went downstairs, and he absolutely tore me to bits in the public. And I was with my head down, trying not to laugh. Yes, Mr. J, yes. Oh, I really do apologise. I think it's absolutely terrible. And of course, the music teacher was hanging around at the end of the corridor, waiting to hear what was going on. And he stormed back up to me in his little annoying way, and looked at me and said, see, blah, 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 and started going on at me himself. And I just said, oh, just stop talking. There's only one thing I have to say to you, and it's not good. Everything I learnt in my school life about music, I learnt from one person, Fred Short. And he had more music in his little fingernail than you have in your entire tiny body. And then I stormed off in the other direction. There we are. I was an obnoxious little child, I think. But anyway, there you are. There's a little school anecdote for you. See, this is all coming back to me now. Horrendous indeed. But this piece of music is going to take me back to some disgusting memories. A film about a snowman and a boy who used to fly around with him. It's all a bit weird when you think about it. But here it is, the theme from The Snowman by a guy called Howard Blake, Walking in the Air, which is weird at any request. Yes, that did take me back to that fateful night. Ah, disgraceful, 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 disgraceful. Let's have fun with a much brighter, much more fun piece of music. Let's see if I can even play this. I have no idea. Oh, the Sleigh Ride by Leroy Anderson. Cue the copyright claims. Fun, isn't it? I don't think I've ever played that on the organ before. That was a choir arrangement. For some reason I had a choir arrangement of that. I didn't know, I was digging around online to find PDFs of all the music I needed, and I just saw the opening. I thought, oh, that looks right. I saw the opening. It had, is that right? Yeah, that's right. And then I saw this. And I thought, yeah, that looks right. And then I saw the first line, just perfect. And then I turned the page and thought, oh shit, it's a choir arrangement. And it went on and became a very nice four-part choir arrangement with 1,000,000 page turns and a repeat and all sorts of other things. However, method in my madness, I now have a four-part choir arrangement, which means I can now do it with my church choir. Haha, perfect. Right, stop. Enough. What's next? Oh, this is much better. Something slow and cute. Ladies and gentlemen, Cam wishes us something, and Cam hopes we all have this. Actually, let me have a quick look and see. Oh no, I can't yet. I was going to change to theatre. Actually, I will change to theatre organ. But I will change to theatre organ once we've had this piece of music, all right? We're skipping one in the order of things here. Cam requested this, or Cam and Christian requested this. This is a wonderful piece of music that you find at this time of the year. Sometimes it's Christmas, sometimes it's Easter, but it's Daughter of Zion Rejoice, Tochter Zion freue dich in German, and that is of course one of the most famous sort of Adventy or Christmassy numbers you can have. I played this very recently, so I think we shall play it again. And here it is, George Friedrich Handel's Tochter Zion. I wonder would Handel have played what is that? Would he have done that? A 6/9 chord? 6/9. Do you think he would have played a 6/9 chord at the end of that? I doubt it very, very much indeed. Right. In that case, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to swap now and disappear over to theatre organ land, where we haven't been for an awfully long time. We haven't been in theatre organ land for months. Months indeed. Does it even still work? It does. Something happened to my first registration, and I don't know. We shall have to find out. I'll play around with it. Right, actually, I was going to talk to you. I was going to say hello to people in the chat, wasn't I? Which I haven't done tonight. I do apologise. So let's do that quickly. Let's scoop on up to the end of what on earth we were doing. Handel, nicht Handel. Handel. Doesn't make any difference. Handel. Handel. Handle, as in four or fork handles. Anyway, right, sorry. Oh, there's an awful lot of people here this evening, and I'm not going to get all of you. Mirabilos is here. Solexter is here. Jez is here. Uza is here. Cam is here, the birthday boy himself. That's good. Philip is here. Julian is here. Gerhard is here. Piotr Grabowski is here. Good evening, Piotr Grabowski. That's rather wonderful. How are you enjoying... Oh, I'm sorry, I've moved to a theatre organ. Thank you, actually, for Düsseldorf. And everyone, if Piotr is still here, all please say thank you to Piotr for the wonderful organ he's given us. It's absolutely amazing. If you haven't bought it yet, go and buy it. Düsseldorf is one of the best, currently the best, sample set for Hauptwerk. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Piotr, wonderful, lovely. Dominic Eckhardt is here. Andy is here. Hello, Andy. David Patton is here. Hello. Toe-tapping holiday tunes. Yes, we like toe-tapping holiday tunes. The Nightbot is here. That's Uza's doing. Tobilo 1989. Hello, Tobilo. Is it Tobilo or Tobilo? Tobilo or not Tobilo? I don't know. That is the question. Alex is here. DT Media is here. Jim is here. Jim is here, which means I can do this. I can do my castanet, because Jim Cascagnette is here. Haha! I've been wanting to do that for a long time. Hi, Jim. It's wonderful. Brooks is here. Good evening, Brooks. Alexander Wunderlich is here. Good evening, Alexander. Xing Shang Chong is here. Hello. Apex is here. And Mr. Siddy Sounds. Mr. Siddy Sounds. That sounds like something. Sounds like something Ken Dodd would have done. I think Lee is here. Good evening from the UK. Well, good evening from the Festive in Germany. It's bloody stormy here today. Is it very stormy where you are? All sorts of power cuts all over the country today. Yeah, wonderful stuff. Right, wow, there we are. And there's probably a lot more of you too. Oh, something else I haven't checked, ladies and gentlemen. I don't, because tonight's an extra, you see, so I don't know if, oh, we've had, someone bought a thingy bob. Oh yes, that was our friend from Switzerland. What do you call it? You know what I mean. A super thanks. Thank you very much for that. Let's actually see, have we got any tickets at all? Let's have a look. Have anyone been buying tickets tonight? 3. 3 people have been buying tickets. Hello. Right. Well, tonight's an extra, so don't worry about that. Cam. Well, thank you, Cam. That's very kind. Cam, it's your birthday. You don't have to be buying tickets. Who's this? Joe Humans has sent me a donation so I can buy some new reading glasses. Thank you, Joe. I will assume that's sarcastic. And Alexander Wunderlich has also bought a ticket. Thank you very much indeed. There we are. There we are. So that's, how many was that? 1, 2, 3. 3 tickets. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Very kind. Thank you very much. And 1 super thanks from over there as well. Yes. So there you are. Now, don't forget, tomorrow night, Friday night, is Organ Music Night. Will be our regular Friday night. Getting close to Christmas, you can see 3 candles burning there. And then we have a question, of course. What are we going to do on Sunday? Because Sunday is Christmas Eve. Are we going to have a Sunday night live stream? No, is the answer. We're not going to have a Sunday night live stream, but are we going to have something else on Sunday? Yes. I don't know what yet, but wait and see, all right? Wait and see. There will be something here and so on. Did I get one from you yet? Alex Mika, no, I don't think I did. Unless you sent it to another account or another place or another person. Hold on, what's this? Nope. Who was that? Alex Mikael? No, I don't think I did. Unless you're sending things under different names. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Did you send it to the right place? I do apologize. Ooh. While we're on the subject of things, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting old. Look, ladies and gentlemen, what Santa brought. What Santa brought. My own very personal Neumann microphones. This was on the Buy Me a Coffee lists. Look, the little plastic bags they came in. All the original stuff, the original documentation that tells you what they do. This is very exciting. And a lovely little wooden box, and there's a number on the wooden box that tells me what number I've got, specially stereo matched. And look, I haven't taken them out yet. Look, I only took them out of the little, they were in little plastic bags, you see, and I don't like that because they could be damp. So I took them out of that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen, my very own Neumann microphones. I'm very excited by that. All thanks to you and the Buy Me a Coffee wish list. There's not much left on the Buy Me a Coffee wish list at the moment, but I dare say in the new year we will be able to come up with some things. In the new year, we're going to be out and about, sorry, Cam. We're going to be out and about doing lots of organ recordings, and for that we've been gathering funds to buy some very nice microphones to get some beautiful sounds. So that's very, 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 very exciting. Don Prince, given how the last live recording, they were overpowered. No, they weren't. Nothing was overpowered. YouTube was overpowered. The microphones are absolutely fine. I'm recording with 32-bit floating point, so you cannot overpower them. No, that was a YouTube mistake. The sound was being sent far too hot to YouTube. Nothing wrong with the microphones and nothing wrong with the recording. The recording itself sounds absolutely perfect. Hugh, thank you very much to Hugh for a ticket. Thank you, Hugh. It is very kind. Thank you to Hugh. Perfect. Have you seen those tiny UK village organ reviews? No, I haven't. I have not. Anyway, nonetheless, let's move on. We're going to have some fun now, and we're going to have fun with some jazzy music to round things off this evening. I thought this was going to be a quick concert tonight. Evidently not. It's going to be the full 2 hours, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a piece of music you might recognize. Sing along. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. What does it mean when your left hand starts itching? You have to scratch it on wood, don't you? And it means something. Ah, it was an itchy left hand. That's most annoying. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. And I hope you all do when the time comes. I have a very easy Christmas this year. On Christmas Eve, I'm playing one service at 6 o'clock in Hirschbach. On Christmas Day, I am doing nothing. Oh, that's not true. Sorry. On Christmas Day, I have one service at 11 o'clock in the morning with my choir in Marienhausen. Sorry, I do. On Boxing Day, that's the 26th, I have nothing to do. And then on the 30th, that's a Saturday, I have one service. And then on the 31st, that's New Year's Eve, I am going to Bonn. I'm going up to Bonn. Where's Bonn? In that direction. I'm going up to Bonn to play the New Year's Eve concert at 22:30. That's 10:30 p.m. in St. Joseph in Bonn-Boyle, my old church. I'm playing the New Year's concert, and it's going to be a jazzy concert. So if any of you are around the Bonn area and you don't have anything to do on New Year's Eve, come to my concert at 10:30 p.m. It will be finished in time for you all to get somewhere for all the bells and the fireworks and the drinky poos and things like that. So all very exciting. I'm very much looking forward to that. I was supposed to play it last year, but the dreaded virus got hold of me and I couldn't. So it's been postponed and I'm doing it this year, so that's rather fun. Now, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, this next piece of music is not going to be true in this part of the world. It might, however, where you are. So let's find out. See what you think. I'm dreaming of a Hauptwerk Christmas from Mr. Irving Berlin. There we go. Right, folks. Well, we're getting very close to end time for this evening. No, wrong button, that one. Keep an eye on the old chit-chat there. See what's going on. So yes, so tomorrow night will be another concert of Funny Games. Funny Games. And I'm looking forward to going through the chat later. I haven't had a chance to look at the chat at all tonight, so I hope you're all having fun in the chat and behaving yourselves, most importantly. Yeah, very good. gosh. Oh, our friend Kip is here. Kristin Ingi Petursson is here. Kip, how are you doing and how are things on Iceland? According to the international news, things are a bit warm on Iceland at the moment. Is everything all right? Let us know. Well, obviously you're writing to us in the chat, so obviously it is fine. But yeah, let us know. How are things going over in Iceland? I hope everything's all right. Are you even in Iceland at the moment, or have you been flown off to, I don't know, Monte Carlo or something? One never knows. So exciting stuff. Exciting stuff indeed. Yes, more tomorrow night. We're back tomorrow night. Friday night is organ music night. And tomorrow night we're just gonna have fun. It's gonna be a fun night of Christmas music. If you have any requests for tomorrow night's fun music, send them to, someone's gonna put it in the chat there, gang@gartshore.de. All good in Iceland, he says. Oh, well, that's good. Good for you. Congratulations. I think we may have a piece of Icelandic Christmas music tomorrow night. How about that? Yes, join us tomorrow for music from Iceland. Amongst other things. Very exciting things. Nancy, you're late to the party. We're just about finished. And we're just about finished, which means it's time to play a final piece of music. Now, there were 2 pieces of music put on the request list for tonight, which unfortunately, due to contractual obligations, I cannot play them tonight. Those contractual obligations are, well, it's a contract between me and myself. There are 2 pieces of music. They cannot be played yet, all right? They just simply can't. One of them can be played on Christmas Eve, and the other one can be played on New Year's Eve. So you'll have to join me on both of those occasions to find out what those pieces are. But sadly, I cannot play them tonight for the simple reason that it's contractually not permitted. But I will be playing them very, very soon indeed. However, I can play this, and this is an old Louis Armstrong. A lovely old Louis Armstrong number. I wish, what happened to my first registration? It turned itself into the last registration, which is really annoying, because I liked my first registration. It was my big band registration, and now I can't think what it was. Which is most annoying. I'll have to work it out and see what it was. I can't do it spontaneously now. But anyway. Would Bobby Helms' Jingle Bell Rock be copyrighted? Yes, of course it would. The deal with copyright is if the composer, well, in Europe at least, if the composer died more than 70 years ago and the composition was not renewed copyright after that fact, then it becomes public domain. So, for example, this year, this was 2023, so any composers who, well, what's 70 years back then? 1953. So, for example, Vaughan Williams' music became public domain this year because he died in 1953. So his music will now be, at the end of this year, public domain. Haha, that's exciting. That really is exciting. That's going to open up and all sorts of good things. However, that's not true because the Vaughan Williams Society, haha, has re-copyrighted a lot of his music, so the 70 years will not apply, unfortunately. But things like pop songs, obviously those people are still they're either very much alive or they only died in the last few years. So that's the way it works, unfortunately. In some parts of the world it's only 50 years, but over here it's 70, so you have to be very, very careful. Here, however, is a wonderful piece of music, Christmas time in New Orleans. Right. We have to finish with it. We absolutely have to. A wonderful piece of music. By the way, there's a lot of talk going on in the chat there about copyright laws, and unfortunately, a lot of it is not true, what is being said there. I'm a bit of an expert in this because I know a very, very powerful lawyer who's into copyright and GEMA. That's the sort of the German Performing Rights Society. He's one of their lawyers. I happen to know him very, very, very well indeed, and he's helped me a lot in recent months with a lot of things that have been going on in the copyright world. And unfortunately, a lot of things that our friend Mirabilos has been saying there are simply not true. Be very, very careful. Music does not automatically become public domain anywhere in the world, certainly not in the EU. And anybody or any publisher and any family member who has inherited music rights can and frequently do renew them, and they are therefore very much in the public domain. So just taking very much no longer in the public domain. So just taking a piece of music where you think the composer's been dead for long enough, it's now in the public domain, and I can go and play with it and do an arrangement of it and get money from it. Sadly, that is a very, very dangerous thing, and it can be incredibly expensive. So be very careful and research every piece of music you want to arrange, whether you think it's public domain or not. In a lot of cases, they are public domain. In a very small number of cases, they will not be public domain. And if you get caught, then you will be liable for hundreds of thousands. I know this for a fact, because it's happened to very many people. It's happened to friends of mine. So be very, very, very careful. Never assume you know everything about copyright law. Nobody does. Anyway, so be careful. That's a warning. Be very careful. Don't be smug and think you know everything about it, because you don't. Be very careful. Be very, very careful. Very, very careful. Okay, right, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to see the paragraph that allows that. There is no paragraph that allows that. It depends on individual members of family or whatever. It's all about that. It's got nothing to do with general law. These things are specific. In every case. That's the problem about it. That really is the problem about it. Anyway, we're not going to get into discussions about these things because they are never ending. Never get into a discussion with a German who thinks he knows what he's talking about. You will be there for the rest of your life. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on and play our final piece of music for this evening, which has to be, it absolutely has to be, a wonderful piece of music in the style of Mr. Thomas Fats Waller. Guess what it's going to be? Ah, I thought I had the microphone on during that. I didn't. I obviously switched it off with the wrong button. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Cameron Platt's birthday. Happy birthday, Cameron Platt. Happy birthday to you. Ah, gosh. Fun and games. Well, Cam, what time is it? It's just gone 1800 hours in your part of the world. So I hope you have a wonderful birthday evening coming up this evening. It's gone midnight here in this part of the world. So it's time for me to turn into a pumpkin, which I did several years ago, and time to disappear. We'll be back tomorrow night. Friday night is regular organ music night, and then we will have a lot of Christmas fun tomorrow night as well. So I hope you can join us for that. Have a wonderful, wonderful time this evening, Cam, and of course, Kristen. Thank you for sending me the wonderful program for tonight's concert. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you all enjoyed it. I had great fun playing it, and I hope you had good fun too. So a little extra for the channel, for the gang. And thank you all for being there. We had a big gang tonight, which was rather wonderful. So thank you very much indeed. It just shows it's the power of the gang, isn't it? The power of the Gartshore gang. We are a very international group, a very international bunch. We are joined by the magic of music, which I think is rather wonderful. And yeah, we've become good friends all around the world. Isn't that wonderful? And in the center of that little net, that international net of friendship, sits my brother Cameron Platt, and keeps an eye on everybody and makes sure that everything works beautifully. Thanks, Cam. Thanks, brother Cam. We'll speak to you later, and you have a wonderful evening. See you all, everybody. See you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful night. See you very, very soon. Take care. Yes, it is. It's time for...